Did you know that there are still tribes in the Amazon rainforest who have never had contact with the outside world? Their traditions and cultures are unique and mesmerizing. This video will take you on a journey into their hidden world, revealing their secrets and struggles. So, buckle up, grab a notebook if you're feeling curious, and let's dive into the heart of the Amazon. The Amazon rainforest is massive, like mind-bogglingly huge. It spans over 6.7 million square kilometers across 9 countries, from Brazil to Peru to Colombia. It's called the lungs of the earth, pumping oxygen and regulating our planet's climate. But beyond the trees, the rivers, and the jaguars, there's something even more mysterious. The people who call this place home. Deep in the jungle, far from roads or Wi-Fi, live tribes who've thrived for centuries, untouched by the modern world. These isolated tribes, sometimes called uncontacted or voluntarily isolated, are like living time capsules. Their languages, rituals, and ways of life are unlike anything you or I have ever known. Some estimates say there are about 100 uncontacted tribes left in the Amazon, mostly in Brazil and Peru. That's 100 unique cultures, each with its own story, hidden in the green heart of the world. Can you imagine? In 2025, when we're all glued to our phones, there are people out there living as their ancestors did thousands of years ago. Now I know what you were thinking. How do we even know about these tribes if they are so hidden? Well, that's where this journey gets wild. We're going to explore how researchers, indigenous advocates, and sometimes just sheer luck have given us glimpses into these worlds without disturbing them. This isn't just about satisfying our curiosity. It's about understanding why these tribes matter, why their existence is a gift to humanity, and why we need to protect them. Ready? Let's venture into the unknown. All right, picture this. You're trekking through the Amazon, vines brushing your face, the air thick with humidity and the hum of insects. Suddenly you spot a faint trail, maybe a sign of human life. But here is the catch. Finding these tribes isn't like stumbling across a coffee shop. These communities are hidden for a reason, and getting to them is crazy tough. The Amazon's terrain is no joke. Dense jungles, swollen rivers, and swamps that can swallow you whole. Researchers and indigenous guides often spend weeks traveling by boat or on foot, dodging snakes and storms, just to reach areas where uncontacted tribes might live. And even then, they rarely make direct contact. Why? Because these tribes have chosen isolation, often to protect themselves from disease, violence, or cultural erosion. One wrong move, like bringing in a flu virus, could wipe out an entire community. That brings us to the big question: how do we learn about these tribes without messing up their lives? It's a tightrope walk. Organizations like FUNAI in Brazil and indigenous-led groups use aerial surveys, satellite imagery, and reports from neighboring tribes to track uncontacted groups. Sometimes they find traces, huts, tools, or footprints, but the goal is to observe from a distance. Imagine someone barging into your home with a camera. Not cool, right? This is where ethics come in. Documenting these cultures isn't about getting viral footage. It's about respect. Researchers work with local indigenous communities who act as gatekeepers, sharing knowledge only when it's safe. Some tribes, like the Kawahiva or the Yanomami, have semi-contacted relatives who share stories or artifacts, giving us a window into their world. But every step has to honor their right to stay hidden. It's humbling, isn't it? Knowing there are people out there who don't need our world to thrive, but whose existence challenges us to do better. Now let's talk about what makes these tribes so incredible: their cultures. Each tribe in the Amazon is like a universe unto itself, with its own language, beliefs, and way of life. Take the Yanomami, for example. They speak 4 distinct languages and have myths about the forest spirits that guide their daily lives. Or the Matses, who use intricate face tattoos to mark their identity and rituals involving frog venom to cleanse their bodies. It's not just different, it's profound. These tribes live in harmony with the Amazon in ways we can barely fathom. They hunt with blowguns, fish with handmade nets, and grow crops like manioc using techniques passed down for generations. Their knowledge of the forest is unreal. They know which plants heal fevers, which roots are food, and which vines hold water. Scientists estimate that indigenous groups use over 7,000 plant species for medicine, food, and tools. That's not just survival, that's mastery. But it's not all practical stuff. Their rituals are where the magic happens. Some tribes paint their bodies with red uricum dye for ceremonies, dancing under the stars to honor their ancestors. Others have shamans who enter trances to communicate with the spirit world. These aren't just traditions. They're a way of staying connected to the land, to each other, to something bigger. I get chills thinking about it. Here's why this matters. These cultures are a treasure trove of human diversity. Every language, every ritual is a piece of our shared history. Losing even one tribe means losing a library of knowledge we'll never get back. But these communities aren't frozen in time. They're living, breathing cultures, adapting to challenges while holding on to their roots. That's the beauty we need to preserve. Okay, let's get real for a second. The Amazon's hidden tribes are facing threats that keep me up at night. The biggest one? Deforestation. Since the 1970s, the Amazon has lost about 20% of its forest cover. That's an area bigger than Texas. Loggers, miners, and agribusiness are carving up the jungle, pushing tribes into smaller, more vulnerable territories. Some tribes, like the Awa, have seen their lands shrink to a fraction of what they once were. Then there's climate change. The Amazon's rainfall patterns are shifting, with longer dry seasons and unpredictable floods. For tribes who rely on the forest for everything, food, water, shelter, this is a disaster. Rivers they fish in are drying up, crops they plant are failing. And let's not forget disease. When outsiders encroach, they bring illnesses like measles or flu, which can decimate uncontacted tribes with no immunity. In the 1980s, some tribes lost half their population to contact-related diseases. Half. But it's not just physical threats. There's a cultural cost too. As loggers and settlers move in, some semi-contacted tribes are pressured to abandon their traditions for modern ways. Kids are learning Portuguese or Spanish instead of their native languages. Rituals are fading. It's like watching a piece of humanity slip away. This is where we come in. Raising awareness is step one. Groups like Survival International and Amazon Watch are fighting to protect tribal lands, lobbying for legal recognition and anti-deforestation policies. Brazil's government has set up protected areas, but enforcement is spotty. These tribes need our voices, yours and mine, to push for change. Because if we lose them, we lose a part of ourselves. Despite all these challenges, there's hope. These tribes are fighters. Take the Kayapo in Brazil. They've been battling loggers and dam projects for decades, using protests and global campaigns to protect their land. Or the Ashaninka, who've blended traditional knowledge with tech, like GPS mapping, to monitor their forests. Their resilience is a masterclass in courage. What's amazing is how these tribes remind us of our shared humanity. Their cultures might seem worlds apart, but their values, community, respect for nature, storytelling, hit home for all of us. Imagine what we could learn from them. How to live lighter on the earth, how to find meaning beyond materialism. Cultural exchange doesn't mean forcing our ways on them. It means listening, learning, and standing in awe. So here's my call to action. Support organizations protecting indigenous rights, donate, share their work, or just spread the word. Push for policies that stop deforestation and respect tribal sovereignty. And maybe, just maybe, rethink how you live. Can you cut back on products like beef or palm oil that fuel Amazon destruction? Every little bit helps. The Amazon's secret tribes are more than a mystery. They're a mirror showing us what's possible when we live with purpose and connection. Let's make sure their stories aren't just told, but lived for generations to come. Thanks for joining me on this incredible journey. If this moved you, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and drop a comment. What is one thing you will do to support the Amazon's tribes? Until next time, keep exploring, keep caring, and I'll see you soon.